Hey guys, I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. I'm going to go over three tips. There's a million different tips. I don't think there's a silver bullet. As Bradley Flowers says, it is not one big silver bullet. It is 1,000 small bullets that make up a good leader. It's just with anything. Growing a successful agency, being a good agent, all that type of stuff. There is not one secret to it. It is doing all the basics better than everybody else. So I'm going to go over in my opinion, the three things that have been my three uh, bullets to the 1,000. Okay, and just for some credibility on this stuff, I am not a 40-year seasoned agent, but I have put up some pretty insane numbers in a couple months. I've done 700,000 in 2 months. If the next 2 months go well, I'm gonna do another 600,000. But it's again, I've had months where that are not good, and I'm not an industry legend by any means. So I just want to throw that out there here. But here are my three tips on what has really helped me be successful and what has really done well for me. Okay. So the first thing since day one, the first thing I've learned is it's always got to be your fault. Okay. Now, obviously, it is not going to be always your fault, but going in there saying these are bad leads, this guy was unsellable. I don't have enough markets. I don't have this. Whatever the case is, it's always got to be your fault. Okay. So I went out door knocking for home and auto leads when I first started the agency. Now I'm doing trucking. Me and my buddies were all very social, all very good at talking. Um, just leaders in sports, so at high school, all sorts of stuff. Okay, and so it's not like I came in there with an advantage. And right off the bat, I started getting about the same amount of leads per day as they were. Went out door knocking, and by after about 2 3 weeks, I was getting double the leads as both of them combined. And really, what that was is every time I get a no, it drove me nuts. I figured out how could I turn this no into a yes, a maybe, whatever. And by tweaking my tone and my comebacks to rebuttal every single time, it actually ended up working out really, really well for me. So you got to think about that. It is always your fault, and what I really mean by that is you always got to be improving. Every no you get, you got to turn it into something, or you gotta figure out why it was a no. I'll tell you guys about why I think most of them are no's, but I think it's just with that. If one lead source is not working for you, figure out how it can work for you. Figure out a new lead source. That doesn't mean I tried Google Ads for a month and it's not bringing in all these leads. I'm gonna go try cold calling now. No, try a couple different things, stick to them for 6 months, and see what works out there. I mean, we do Facebook ads, we do YouTube, we have great SEO on our website, lots of Google 5-star reviews. Part of a million associations. I go give speeches at the trucking associations, all sorts of stuff. So I mean, I got my hands in a lot of different things, and I'm gonna try them all for 6 months, see what kills it. And I'm probably not gonna just kill one of the lead sources, but if one sucks, then yeah, I'll get rid of it and keep trying my other four. So always, always, always improving is going to be the huge thing that sounds super simple, but a lot of people don't do. A lot of good agencies, a lot of good just sales trainers in general. They say write down the 10 rejections you get, and I'm going to come back and help you with how to handle those for next time. So that's going to kind of lead me into my next point here of work with good clients. Don't work with everybody. You can sell a lot of insurance to a lot of bad clients. There's a lot of people trying to commit insurance fraud, especially in the trucking insurance space. You got non-standard auto where that stuff does not stay in the books whatsoever. Hey, I need insurance because I got to go to court tomorrow. Hey, I need insurance because I'm trying to buy this car, which they're going to non-pay on next month. So don't sell that crap. You're gonna have no retention on that stuff whatsoever. Quoting a million people and seeing what sticks to the wall is not the way to go about it. There will be a point where you have so many leads you can't keep up. And so what we do right now is we don't even quote half the leads. We reject half of them and work on the guys who are serious. And if I don't think they're serious, but they really want to quote, I make them sign a BOR. Hey, if you're going to call 5 other agents and want to quote from me, you're going to sign a BOR. Tom Brady doesn't have 5 agents, seeing who can get him the most when it comes to the NFL. He has one guy going out to bat for him, and he hired the best guy. So that's how it needs to be in insurance. You don't have 5 accountants to see who's gonna get your numbers done the best and who's gonna be the cheapest. You have one accountant. All sort of stuff. It's how insurance should be. So work with good clients. Stick to your niche. Know what you're doing. Um, if you guys want to learn more about this, read The Wedge. The Wedge is phenomenal. This is not going to come in on home and auto insurance. It's going to come in on big commercial. If you guys are doing home and auto, just have some boundaries in place, right? Like we don't quote certain clientele. We have limits on our auto insurance that we will not go below. We do not sell below 250, 500, 100 on liability limits for auto. If you want state minimum limits, I'm not going to be your guy. Because yes, they might bind, but they're going to cancel in no time. And I frankly think those guys are going to be tough to bind. They're more work. They want all these deals from you. You got to be careful on the service side of it too, because if you guys are an agent and you end up servicing a lot of your accounts, even though you tell them they have a CSR or an account manager, they're going to call you with all these problems, okay? So quote good clientele. And what it ultimately all comes down to, here's the third tip, is it's all certainty. I think this is the huge piece of sales. Go watch Jordan Belfort's videos on this. I actually have as part of my sales. The whole team and I are reading The Way of the Wolf. Everything in sales comes down to certainty. And you do not create certainty by blasting the client with all sorts of knowledge. You guys have no idea how much I'm sold to. It is like every day somebody calls me trying to sell me something for my agency. And it's crazy. I've had maybe one guy do it. But everybody says, hey, I got this product. And they start blasting me with facts about it. They don't even know where that product would fit in. They don't know if I need that product. They don't know how I like my current product. They know nothing about it. They just start, hey, I got this thing. Blah, blah, blah. And just start word vomiting for 10 minutes about this thing for me. And I'm like, in my head, I quit listening after 30 seconds. And that's what your guys' clients quit. They quit listening after 30 seconds as well. So if you guys are going to be presenting a quote, if you're calling for, hey, can you give me the opportunity in your next renewal? You got to figure out the pain point. Here's the solution. That's what it is every single time. If somebody calls in and says, hey, I just can't get a hold of my current insurance agent. I just want to switch over to you. But you start talking about the pricing and how and all these features, this new policy, they don't care. Just offer a good policy, offer your best quotes, and say, hey, here's the proof of we're going to have good customer service for you. We've got all these 5-star reviews. You're going to have a dedicated account manager. Here's their info. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get you taken care of. They start talking about how this and this on their insurance. We've had guys where we upsold somebody $20,000 because something was wrong with their current policy. Obviously, you're not going to go sell on price there. You're not going to start talking. You got to get them interested, right? You're not going to start talking about, oh, yeah, well, I can get you the cheapest quote around, blah, blah, blah. No, I can solve that problem. It's all about solving problems and creating certainty. Do not over-explain or do not use more words or do not talk more than they talk. So you want to listen most of the time, right? When you're listening, they feel heard. You want to listen more than you're speaking. You want to ask questions is the main thing. So that's how you get to that. Where's that problem at? You find that pain point. Or, you just start throwing things out. Hey, is this kind of what you're looking for? Whatever. Quick example of this is we sell a lot of high net worth home and auto. I say, hey guys, you guys coming from Geico. And you guys have a $2 million home. I just want to ask you real quick, what's more important to you? Coverage and making sure a claim's going to go well, or pricing? Most of the time they're going to say, well, I want both. But okay, well, let's just say the pricing is not high. It's close, but it's higher. And you guys are getting some of the best coverage and claim experiences out there. Would you choose that option, or would you want another big name where you're going to get a 1-800 number and it's not going to have the coverage and everything else, but you might be saving money? Actually, you'd be surprised when you phrase it like that, how many people are actually going to say, I want coverage when it comes to them owning $1 million home, right? So there's a good point there. Simple terms, don't overcomplicate insurance. Do not use insurance jargon. Hey, your BI and PD limits are 500 CSL. The heck are you talking about? Hey, do you know what liability is? No, I've never heard of that. You'd be surprised when people don't know that. Okay, well here's liability. So if you get in an accident, blah 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 blah. Here's how much you have. How do you feel? How do you feel about that coverage? Oh, that's good. Okay, well we can go a little more if you want, because if you kill somebody in an accident, it's about $1 million typically in court. Do you find having 500K come out of pocket? Well, no. Okay, well, let's get you an umbrella. How much is an umbrella? Well, so and so dollars. That's how you do that stuff. Okay, so you don't overcomplicate it. You ask, even just that little sales deal. I was asking questions. I was keeping it real simple. I was letting them explain. I was letting them talk more than I was, and I was really just creating that certainty, because they don't understand this stuff. They know exactly what they're buying. Just the certainty is what gets people to buy. Your tone of voice is huge. People feel more comfortable when you talk and react like they talk. So if somebody's real slow, not using a whole lot of words, don't be real joyful and just all sorts of just all excited and ecstatic and explaining all this stuff. Just keep it real simple. They're simple, you're simple. If somebody's real ecstatic to hear on the phone, you're ecstatic to hear about them. Hey, how's your summer been? Blah blah blah. Right? Match their tone. Like I said, listen more than you talk, and just solve a problem. You gotta be a problem solver. You gotta figure out how to get done, obviously in the ethical way, and it's all about solving a pain point. That's all it is. If you're cold calling for trucking, how are you any different than the last 20 guys who just cold call them on this renewal when they have Progressive and Geico as well? One thing we talk about is some of the exclusive markets we have. Hey, we got some markets that I guarantee you've never been shopped with. There's at least 2 in there that you've never been shopped with. You ever heard of so-and-so and so-and-so? No. Well, here's how I'm different than the last guys that just cold called you. Most of these guys have the same exact 3 markets everybody else has. I have all these guys. I'm going to have more options. I have a better chance of saving you on insurance. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. It sounds good. I'll give you the opportunity there. So then that's how you do it. You almost just created that problem right there. You showed where that pain point was at, and then you're going to go solve it, right? You're going to go get them those quotes, figure out what they're looking for, then go do it. Do not word vomit them. Keep it simple and create the certainty. They know exactly what's going on. They know the whole process, what's going on. They know everything. Oversimplify, keep it simple, and create that certainty. So those are the 3 sales tips I have got, guys. Hopefully I didn't go too in depth there, kind of bounce around too much. Appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to know any more about sales, on insurance, anything on those lines, we do a lot of stuff here. We do home, auto, trucking, life and health. It's all in one for truckers. So we've got quite a bit on the books here. So, hey, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, I am Hunter with Nelson Insurance Agency.